everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to do the opposite of the last vase. The last vase I did a big vase, a segmented big vase, as big as I could. I probably could have made a little bit bigger, but not a whole lot. That tailstock was at the end of the bed of the lathe anyway, so there's not a whole lot I can do. So let's do the opposite. Let's make a small vase this time, using one of my wedgies that it takes a lot of segments to make. If it's small, it won't be as bad because it won't be as many rings as if I had a large one and say I do 48 pieces to make a ring. They'll be small. There's no doubt about it. In fact, they'll be so small that I might have to cut these in half that are already small. I don't know. I'll have to see take a test board and see what's going on and see what it cuts. But I think that would be awesome. What do you think? I think that would be so cool. Let's do the opposite size. We'll do a small jug with a lot of pieces. And we're going to see what it looks like. This will be the first time. Either I'll use the 30, I can't even remember where I put those things. I was looking around for them. I couldn't find them. I had them the other day when I was showing y'all. Anyway, I'll find them in a minute. Oh, I see them. Anyway, there's a 48, there's a 32. I might just do 32, or we might go to the extremes of using the 48. What do you think? Why not? I've never used those two. Let's do this. Let's do this. This would be awesome. This would be something different. It'd be the same thing. It'll be a vase. It'll be a jug, but it'll be different. That would be so cool. I love that. That's fascinating. Let's just go and do the opposite. So I have to plug this thing in, and I have to finish my other video up. My stupid computer wants to restart and update on me. And I was trying to push the date later on, but I already pushed the date later one time before, and I reckon it's gonna it just refuses to let me keep doing that. I don't like that stuff, because I don't know what all they're putting on my computer, and I don't like that neither. They could be putting something on my computer I don't like. All right, so anyway, I'll let you go. I'm gonna charge this up, and then we will see you in a little while, okay? All right. Woohoo! I'm excited. How about you? Yeah, and it's cool. It's a Sunday, and it cooled off down here. I don't know what happened. Oh, we got a bottle brush. Wait a minute. Okay, I told y'all a short time back about hummingbirds and stuff. And I had made a bird feeder, a birdhouse. They don't nest in birdhouses, but they love bottle brush bushes. This is a bottle brush bush, okay? It kind of broke in the winter time and stuff. And if I get my fire pit really hot, sometimes it affects this side of the bush. But anyway, I want to show you one of the flowers. See? On the end, it'll have these red flowers, and I think there might be different colors. I don't know. But they're usually bushier than this. And they come on out, and they look like a bottle brush, you know, that you would use to clean bottles in the kitchen or something, and it has a brush on the end. So it's kind of like that. Let me make sure I can see, y'all can see it, because I got to touch my screen. So hummingbirds love these bushes. They love these bushes. What, baby? Are you upset because I'm not talking about you? Well, I'm sorry. My Sylvester. He is a funny cat. And I gave him some tuna fish because I made some tuna fish for sandwiches. And I'll give him a little bit. I'll give him the cat the juice and a little bit of the tuna fish in there. And you know, it's like this. I give him an inch, he takes a mile. Okay, I give him a little bit, and he expects it all the time after that. He just loves tuna fish. Of course, all cats do. I'm sorry, baby. So anyway, all right. No, stop getting in my way. All right, and we'll see y'all a little bit later, okay? All right, everyone. I have segmented several pieces of cedar wood. I was running out of the pieces that I cut. I decided, okay, this piece is pretty thin, but I'm desperate to get some rings going without having to cut some more cedar wood logs and stuff and make boards again. I don't feel like doing that. Of course, you can't base your life on how you feel. You have to base it on the truth, right? Because if we based everything on how we felt, we probably wouldn't get anything done, right? So we can't go on how we feel. We don't feel like paying our bills. We don't feel like doing a lot of stuff. We don't feel like taking trash out. We don't feel like cleaning the cat litter box. There's a lot of things we don't feel like doing, but we got to do it, right? So anyway, I wanted to show you something, though. I was talking about earlier. No, don't start right now, baby. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so let me see if I can find something light, because I don't think you can see it very well. Well, maybe you can see it here. Okay. You see that that's not level on both ends. This end and this end is not straight across. It's coming out slanted a little bit this way. That's slanted this way a little bit. So that's why I have to glue it half and half. So I got this half glued together. Then I'm going to glue this half together. This half is not straight neither. So what I'll do is I will sand it until it's sitting level, flat. On this, when it's sitting flat on the surface of the countertop or stovetop or wherever you have it, and this one is also, then I can put the two pieces together and glue them together. And that's sometimes what I have to do, because they're not cut properly. Now this piece, let me see if I can get it up without falling apart off of the rubber band. This piece is going to be fine. I should not have any trouble with it. It all, when I cut it, it all came together properly. And so I should be able to just glue the whole thing together and put a rubber band on it and tighten it down. The same thing with these also. All these should be just fine. It's a smaller one. Sometimes they do that way, and I have to definitely, especially if they're closed. I have what's called open segments. You can get closed segments. I chose to get open segments, and I'm glad I did. I didn't know for sure what to get when I first got the wedgies and stuff like that, so I'm so glad that I picked that one. That's the best one to pick, especially since I have to open up stuff anyway, and it saves me the trouble of opening everything all the way up. Okay, alright, I'm going to get back to this and get it gluing. I've got to work on these things today, and it's 32 pieces. These are 32 pieces, so it takes several minutes just to get all these together. And I'm using a paintbrush. I don't want to just glob it on there like I normally do with larger pieces, because that'd be too much glue for these little pieces. And my concern is, like I've said before, is if you get too much glue on these and then absorbs it in there, it might make the wood swell up. And then they will not fit on properly. You know, it'll be a problem. I have to sand them and get them flat on one side. I have to make sure that I can add the rings together. They have to be flat so that they meet together properly. Alright, I didn't film any of putting any of these together. I thought that, well, I'll do one to show you how meticulous it is. It's still fun. Anything is fun if you have the right perspective, right? Anything can be fun and enjoyable. It just depends on how you look at stuff. You have to look at it with the right approach. If you don't look at it properly and you're in a bad mood, nothing's going to be fun. And we've all been that way. My glue, oh, I forgot to close the top again. I always forget to close the top. Anyway, I have not smoothed these rings out yet. I've got them glued together, but I have to smooth out this. I have one end that I try to make as flat as I can. The other end I don't care about, because when I put it on the lathe, I can smooth it out with a skew, okay, and make it really smooth. The skew is so sharp and precise. You have to be precise. The skew is the hardest tool to master, and that's the first tool that I decided and I made up in my mind I was going to learn, and I did. I got some catches with it though, but once you learn the skew, you can master any of the tools very well, except for the bowl gouge. I had trouble with the bowl gouge, but it was because I was not holding it properly, and you have to hold it properly at the correct angles according to what you're doing. If it's on the outside of the wood and it's making it smooth, and it's how would you say, skinning the piece properly, riding the bevel, you have to skin it properly. Once you get that, well, I call it the sweet spot. Once you get that sweet spot on the flute, and you just glide it all the way down the piece perfectly, and you have to have a steady hand, and it has to go down properly. Anyway, let's get back to this. We are going to glue these together, okay? These right here, I don't have to worry too much about. I found some more wood that I cut also, which is great. We're going to get this going though. Let's do this. Let's do it like this. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you a minute, and I like to talk to you, so. I gotta get my knife. I tell you what, talking about knives, I don't know much about knives. I've never been a biggie on knives. I like knives, don't get me wrong. I got a machete. I got a machete from Panama, and then I got a tang parang. For those of you who've been on my channel for a long time, you probably saw that video a long time ago. And I received my tang parang on my front porch and stuff. I like stuff like that. When you live in places like Panama and Central America, or tropical places, you have to have a machete to cut through the thick foliage in the jungle. The jungles are thick, and they require, if you want to get through there, unless there's paths cut out, they are so thick with vines and tropical bushes and trees and stuff. You better have a machete, and you better know what you're cutting too, because I'm going to tell you something. My dad, I remember when I was younger, I couldn't have a machete at the time. I was too young to have a machete. My dad would not allow me to have a machete at the time. So, and that's fine. He was looking out for my safety. But so he's cutting a path out for us to go through. He loved to take pictures. Okay, he's got bunches of slides, and he's already passed away. So my oldest brother has all his slides of Panama. He hit the wrong bush. Let me tell you, that bush that he hit with the machete to cut is called a thorn thistle bush. And the thorns on there, if I remember correctly, are kind of long. Anyway, there's these ants called thorn thistle ants, and they bore holes in those little thistles. they're stickers. They're long stickers, but they're called thistles. So when they bore holes in them and they live in there. Okay, them things will sting you like a wasp. And I'll never forget, as long as I live. I didn't see anything. I just know he was in some serious pain. And he had gotten one in his private area. And that was not good. I felt so bad for him. That was just terrible. They also have killer bees down there. And one day, I don't know if it's my dad or I think it was my brother, my middle of the siblings. He hit the wrong bush and disturbed some killer bees. And they were after us. And you know, them things chase you. They'll chase you down. They don't give up. They'll chase you down and they will all sting you. They can kill you. So, and they have come here in the United States. I've heard that they were in like places like Texas and stuff before. Anyway, so fortunately, we were very close to a body of water. We were along this stream of water. So my dad said, run, run. So we were falling into the water. So we were running, and I don't think anyone got stung either. We were very fortunate. Anyway, so we ran, we had to get in the water and under the water as long as we can hold our breath. If we come up, we better get back down as quick as we could, because them things will hover over you. They don't give up that easily. That one don't look right. There it is. Anyway, so all I remember is we did that, and they didn't bother us. I reckon they went away and left us alone. We were very lucky. Anyway, getting back to this. So I press down on it as I'm making sure that I press them together with a firm pressure to make sure that they are together. But I press down on them to make sure it's kind of flat at the bottom, see? So when I sand it, I have something that I can sand that's not all jagged and messed up, because I don't want to sit here sanding forever. And on top of that, these are not very thick. They're not very tall. Okay, I can't be sitting there sanding it away. It'd defeat the whole purpose of putting them together, right? And I wouldn't be able to use them. So anyway, I cut extra ones. So I better count these. I did like 34, 35 segments. I only need 32. I need one more. Ain't that something? It's just fun stuff, though. Yeah, it can get tiresome to do because it's repetitive with things. But segmenting, I mean, it's awesome stuff. I love that kind of art. So we got our two halves. You see how they don't fit together perfectly? You see that? So that's why I let them dry separately. Make sure that one's on there with a little bit of some firm pressure there. See, it's not on there at the bottom on that one. Put a lot of force on that one. So it's not together right there. See, it's not lining up. When you glue them up together and stuff and put them together, it probably absorbs some of the glue. Probably just, I don't know, when they're pushed together like that, it probably messes up the alignment of them also, or they just were not cut properly, or the combination of the two. So anyway, regardless, what I'll do is I'll take this sandpaper and I'll sand them like this, because it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes I'll put it on my sander and sand them up real quick if it's a bigger gap. But the good thing about red cedar wood or regular cedar wood is it's kind of soft wood and it's kind of chalky when you sand it. So it really sands pretty easily. It's not like oak. Oak is a lot harder, and it's a lot harder to sand. This is not right. So, all right, I thought I'd share this with you, with anyone who is a wood turner or new at it or doesn't know, and they just have no idea, and they don't do wood turning, what have you. When I sand a piece on the sanding, on my sander, my electric sander that I have, it still doesn't get it buttery soft smooth. Okay, so I have to get one side of this buttery soft smooth, and I use the term buttery soft because it has to be smooth. Okay, it really is extremely important, because when you add the piece to the next ring that's smooth because you took the skew and flattened it, or whatever way you wanted to use your tool, whatever tool you wanted to use. I use the skew. Okay, it makes it very smooth. So, you have to apply your hands and your fingers are the best tools to use when it comes to being more precise and being able to feel if it's flat or not. Like when I'm hand sanding, okay, you have to feel it. You can't just use the machine all the time and you don't feel the piece and see if there's lumps or imperfections that you just didn't sand out. Okay, so I have to have a flat surface, and I put my sandpaper on a flat surface, and that's another reason why I use this stovetop. I mean, you might have a flat surface table, and that's fine. Use your table. That's wonderful. I have tables out there too, but they're not completely flat, so I don't use them for that reason. So you have to apply that pressure, and I go in circles, and I'll turn the piece a little bit, and I'll feel some resistance on one. I might feel a little resistance somewhere, and that means it's not completely flat in a little area, but I'll keep turning it. As I'm going in circles, I'll keep turning it. And sometimes if there's a how would you say, a stubborn area, I'll go back and forth like this until I work out that stubborn area. Because you got to apply the friction in the right sections, areas, and knock them off. And then I'll go in circles. And the reason why is because it makes it even. If I just go like this in one section, it might not make it even all the way around. So I turn it. There's a section of friction that I feel, and you can feel it through the piece into your fingers and hands. Okay, that's extremely important. And you have to get your pieces as flat as possible. Because I'll never forget when I first started wood turning, I would sand it on the sander and then put it on there, and it was still not flat. So my son came out here one day. He was doing some aluminum. He was melting aluminum and making things with it, and also using his 3D printer to make things. Okay, he was creating some art, and so he was out here sanding on a flat piece of on a plain piece of glass, because it's so flat and smooth. And he had the sandpaper on there, and I thought, you know what? And it clicked all of a sudden with me. And I thought, you know what? I need to start sanding by hand on a flat surface just like he's doing. That's a great idea. So when I did, then I didn't have the problem so much anymore of joining the pieces together on the lathe, of adding the segmented rings. So that's extremely important. I just want to share that with you so you get this. So this is smooth now, smooth like butter, buttery smooth, very soft and flat. I can take these two pieces and join them together now, for example, and I don't have any gaps, any imperfections. They'll join together very well, right? On this piece, I have a problem in an area that keeps showing resistance, like right in here, and so I have to go back and forth and work it out. Got to keep working it out until it smooths out. And I feel with my fingers so I can feel there's a little resistance right there. See? So I have to keep standing on it until I work it out. If you're doing it yourself, you can feel it, and you can tell, you can see what I'm saying. You have to work it out until, see, there's a little spot right here. If I just sanded it on the sander, I'd never know that was there, and it won't sit flat. So that's why I say you have to do it by hand. You have to fit. If you want to do it right. If you don't want to do it right, you can do it any way you want to, but that doesn't guarantee it's going to fit right. So, you know, I'm just telling you what I do, and you got to keep doing it until you work out that spot right there. That little spot, it just doesn't want to. There we go. I think I got it finally. Anyway, I just want to show you that. That was a stubborn piece right there. So anyway, I got one of these pieces. I think it's dry enough to sand. I don't know for sure. So they have to be flat on both sides. So I'll take the piece and I'll make sure I'm firm. I'm holding it firmly in my hand and straight up and down. I don't want it sideways, because if I have it sideways when I'm trying to sand it, it's going to be sideways on here, on these pads. And I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be straight up and down. Extremely important that you have a firm grip on here, and you're holding it straight up and down, and you're applying the proper amount of pressure to create that friction so that you have a flat piece. It seems to be sitting flat so far. Now we got to work on this piece. Let's see. Woo! I'm trying to hold the sandpaper with my belly. On the edge of the countertop. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know that I have that on the right side. Alright, we got it together. See? Now they're joined together. You see that? There's no longer a gap. It's a slight gap right here. Hang on. Let's see if that's better. Okay, that's better. Okay, we got it. See? We got it. Isn't that awesome? Now I can glue this together. And then I can sand one side of this, which would be this side. This side is flatter than this side. I didn't care that this side poked out. It will be knocked down flat and smooth on the lathe. I just need one side smooth. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. I'm using a regular piece of the cedar that I had left over for the very bottom to start building as the base, as the bottom, as the foundation, so I can start adding the rings to it, okay? So we're going to add this ring and we'll start building it up. Alright, Shalisa Shell. Oh man, I can't even talk this morning. Shalisa Shell, in her comments, told me about that there was a sticker at the bottom, a big sticker at the bottom of the box with the cedar wood and the spalted maple she sent me, and I didn't know it. It was underneath the newspaper. Anyway, I got it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Woo! I love it. Woo! Man, I don't know where I want to put it. It is so nice too. I love that. I'm so glad that we had that conversation. Well, how long ago was it? 2 years ago at least. And I mentioned to you about, how they have the idiom or the saying, got milk and got this. Anyway, I said, why not? Got fat wood. Why don't you make stickers of that? So that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. Does it peel off? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to touch it right now. I got many things to do today. And I want to make sure I do this right. This is very nice. Thank you so much. I just want to show you this. Okay, I thought I found everything. I thought that sticker was all that was in there. Look at here. I found this also. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the little tiny pieces of... Is that pine cones? Those are beautiful. Look at there. You made this too. Shalisa, you did a fantastic job. I mean, look at that. Whoever thought you would be making stuff like this? This is amazing. Wow. I couldn't even make something like that. Wow. That is professional. That is so beautiful. Look at there. You gave it to me for free. Thank you. That means a lot to me right there. That touches my heart. Thank you, Shalisa. I just wanted to film this also because I didn't know it was at the bottom of the box. I thought I had gotten everything out. Thank you so much for the wonderful gift. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Fat wood preserved in there forever. I love that. That is awesome. The colors of it. Look at that. Well, anyway, it is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. You did a fantastic job. I cannot say that enough. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to have to do my video later. I got to stop it from going out right now so I can put it out later. Anyway, let's get to this. I'll put this to the side. We're going to add our next little ring to this. Here it is right here. They're small. 32 pieces. 32 pieces. I have about 10 rings. That's what? 320 pieces, right? 32 times 10 is 320. Because you just add the 0, right? Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing well. The birds are singing. The temperature is nice. Let's see what the temperature is. Hold on a second. Let me get the camera. I'll bring it inside. I got my thermometer inside. Let's see. Can y'all see that? It's showing it's dark on my screen. That's what I'm asking. It's 69 degrees. I told you the weather was nice. Okay. We're going to get back over here so I can mount this back on the back side of the tailstock so that we can film this. Right? Very nice. I was talking to Bono the other day, though, about the weather. That it got real warm and then it got real cold, and I was thinking to myself, my goodness, this is one extreme to the other. It sounds like what it does here. Of course, when we have weather like that in the south, at this time of year, sometimes the transitioning of the weather into spring, it can really make some really bad, clashy weather. Tornadoes, God forbid, we don't want tornadoes here. That's for sure. I'm fascinated with bad weather. I love to watch it, but I don't want anything bad to happen. Does that make sense? Anyway, let's get back to this piece. This has been drying overnight. This is completely dry. Let's smooth this out on the outside, and then smooth this ring out so I can add this next ring. That's right. We're getting close to getting all these rings done. I got about four or five more rings to go. We can get these on here today so we can start shaping it and get it finished to a beautiful shape. What do you think? All right, we're next to the back. We're next to the next piece. This is the cedar wood. And you know, I was thinking about the cedar wood when I was comparing in the mail call of Shalisa Shell's red cedar that she sent me from Michigan. And hers has all the best qualities except for one. There's one that Alabama red cedar wood beats Michigan for, and that is the scent. The scent of red cedar wood here in Alabama is stronger. And the reason why it's stronger is because of the heat. The heat also makes the scent stronger because of the bugs here. The bugs are worse here in Alabama than they are in Michigan. Although they have bugs. They have plenty of bugs, don't get me wrong. But the scent is much stronger. And there are times that I have wood turned, cedar wood, you know, making the jug or vase or what have you, and that scent would just go straight up my nose, and it would burn. It would burn back there. It hurt. The scent though is very lingering, and it'll get on your hands. You could smell it on your hands and the powder. And there was one day I had to it's a fine soft blah blah blah, I can't speak. It's a fine soft powder. The powder, although all wood has powder to it, there's something different about the red cedar wood that is, the powder is different. It's very chalky, and you can feel it with your hands. It's very smooth and chalky, and it's wonderful to use when you're filling in holes and cracks and stuff. It's perfect for that. But the oils in the red cedar, they have more oils up north, okay? There's no doubt about it. The oils get on your hands, they get on your face. If I'm not wearing a shield and I get a little powder on my head and stuff. There was one day I had a shield on though. I had a shield and I was cutting a bunch of red cedar wood, and I didn't realize that I had some on my forehead, and it actually started itching near my hairline. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? I don't have dandruff or anything. What's going on here? You know, and so I asked, something triggered my thought that maybe it is the red cedar wood. Maybe I got powder on me. So I took a baby wipe, you know, instead of washing my whole head and stuff with soapy water, I took a baby wipe and I cleaned it off up there. And sure enough, there was the residue of the oils and the red cedar powder on my forehead up near my hairline. And you know, because I was wearing a shield, so I didn't think I got really any residue on me, but I did, because it's floating all in the air. Okay, so it's a good thing I'm out in my carport. You don't want to be in an enclosed area when you're working with wood turning, okay? Because if you do, you better be wearing you a respirator all the time. And I don't always wear a respirator. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do. I'm sure I'm getting these things in my lungs sometimes. Last time that I went to the doctor or something, they had to do x-rays in my lungs because I have sinus problems at times. I have sinus problems, and well, they said my lungs are clear, so I'm not too concerned about that right now. I'm not saying there's nothing that gets in my lungs. I'm just telling you about me, what I do. Sometimes I don't wear a shield or a respirator. But if you're working inside, wear a respirator, okay? Do not be in an enclosed area without a respirator. You are asking for serious trouble with your lungs and everything. So anyway, I'm out in the carport and I have the breeze blowing, and it can blow a lot of this stuff away, okay? So, but anyway, regardless, getting back to what I'm talking about, the red cedar It just, you know, the oils in it, even though it doesn't have as many oils, it's got oils in it still here in Alabama. It's got oils in it. And it get on your hands, it'll get on your face. Of course, I wash my hands a lot, so I'm not too concerned about my hands. But that right there, I asked a questionnaire AI about it. I just thought, well, maybe there's a connection with that red cedar wood, because I had cut some earlier that day, and so when I wiped my forehead with the baby wipe, there was red cedar residue on there, and I thought, well, yeah, let me ask the questionnaire. That's what it is. So I asked the questionnaire, and it said yes, it definitely can cause your skin to itch, especially near the hairline. So it was just perfect. That's what the problem was, and that exact. After I wiped it off, it no longer itched anymore. So yeah, it can irritate your skin. You got to be careful with that stuff. The red cedar has a beautiful aroma to it. However, the fat wood is the best to me. Okay, it has the sweet smelling aroma that is like godlike or something. It's just out of this world. I mean, you smell the scent of fat wood, and you just want to smell it all the time. It lingers in your nose, and it just lingers with you. And I go to work, and I try to describe to people who've never smelled fat wood. They don't know what I'm talking about, like with these ornaments I've made. So I have to take an ornament up there to them to let them smell it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's pretty. I said, I told you, it smells like a flower, doesn't it? Okay, let's add the next ring. It's going to be one more ring like this. Then we're going to start making the end. Alright, I hope y'all been doing well so far. That's right, having a good day today. It feels like it's like 75 degrees now. It's warmed up. It's nice, but the breeze, and it feels a slight coolness in the breeze, so it's not like too hot or anything. It's very comfortable. Hold on a minute. I need to hand sand this. There's a little slight areas on it, and I need it to sit very flat on here. I'll be right back. Okay, here's this piece. We gotta put that on. We gotta start, excuse me, we gotta start sloping it down so it has the lip coming down, and then forming the lip area. Yes, we do. This is going to be beautiful. All right, we're almost there. Got 1, 2, 3. Got 9 rings on here. 9 times 32. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry the 1. 9 times 3 is 27. 28. 288 rings. I mean, 88 pieces. Did I do the math right? Y'all tell me. I'm just doing it in my head real quick. Good morning, everyone. How's it going? It's a beautiful morning. I'm going to get a small Forstner bit and go ahead and just put a hole in it like that. Let's just use that big one. We'll use a little bit bigger one. We'll go ahead and put a hole in it with the Forstner bit. Get that going, and then we're going to start shaping outside and get this hopefully finished. What do you think? I'm excited. Woohoo! I'm excited. This is the creme de la creme. This is the crescendo. Like I've told y'all before. This is the moment. This is most exciting to me, is right when you're fixing to shape it, and then you're in the process of making it beautiful and shaping it. I love that part. When it's finished, it's beautiful also. But I'm in. How would you say it? I'm enjoying it at that point. It's the most enjoyable part of wood turning, is when you're able to finally get all the segments together and shape it. I look forward to that more than anything when it comes to wood turning. Make sure this is snug down in there. Okay. All right, so we have our Forstner bit. We're going to go ahead and put a hole in it. You know, I wonder if I should shear it off first. I might should do that first. What do you think? I didn't think about that. Hold on a minute. So let me go ahead and do that first. I wasn't thinking. Okay, right at the moment, I just want to meet the segments together. And then I will start really doing the detail of shaping it properly. But before I do that, I want to pull this out. I want to feel on the inside. I have plenty of room, and that's good. So let me see about shaping the inside here. Oh, that's gorgeous. It's not even done yet. Alright, I'll be back. I'm going to put this back on here, on the tailstock, so I can start working on the inside here and get this lip seen about and finished. Man, that thing is so freaking sharp. It is so sharp. I think it's sharper than this thing. Let's go ahead and... So we got to round this area. That area right through here is not round. It's not a smooth transition. It's not coming around like a butterfly wing or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. That's the first thought that popped in my head, okay? I'm just saying it's supposed to come... The curves need to be smooth. The curves need to flow. When you put your hand on a piece of art, you need to be able to feel that those curves are smooth as you're feeling them, okay? Your eyes have to be trained to see the shadowy... Let me turn that off. Your eyes have to be trained to see the shadowy area where it's jagged still. You're looking at the empty space. The empty space there, the empty space through here is not smooth. And it's not rounding off properly like right in here. Okay, do you see that? That's what your eyes have to start seeing and be trained to see. Okay, and so before I go any further, there's a place here that I need to put some wood dust in a segmented area that somehow or another it just did not come together properly. So I'll be back. I want to do that, and then we'll join back, and then we'll start working on this area a little bit better, and then we'll start working on the piece. So the carbide tips work extremely well. They're a lot easier. You still can get some bad catches with, though. You better be careful. You get a pop while you're going inside, that hand will come popping up in your face. It'll hit you and hurt you badly. Anyway, I want to make sure I have a nice, good lip. I still need to bring it out down some more right in here. Let me make absolutely certain I have plenty of wood. I should. Yes, I do. Especially right in there. Ready? I'll probably put a folded up paper towel on the end of the tailstock cone so I can hold it without it maybe scoring that area. Well, we got the lip. The lip is pretty much finished, except that I'll be sanding it by hand. That's normal. Hey, what's up, everyone? Okay, we have it finished. And it turned out lovely. Turned out beautiful. All those segments. Can you see it? I tell you what, the lighting is always better over here. Probably because it's under the main light in the kitchen. I hope you can see it very well. Look at all those segments. Okay, how many? Let's see, it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was 12 rings. 12 times 32 is what? We know that 10 times 32 is 320. I think that's awesome to make this little jug. And it's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. It's smooth. I have the final finish of the Gorilla Clear Glue on there. It turned out beautiful. I have it smooth on the inside. Unless you reach your finger all the way in there. That's all right. It turned out lovely. I love it. Now, I did not match these up the way I wanted to, but that's okay. It looks pretty cool the way it is. It's just different. A little offset in places. Like right over here, that looks pretty cool. Well, what I need to do is make a segmented, I need to make a feature ring with the design in it. However, it turned out beautiful the way it is. I love it. What do you think? I think it's so cute. It's adorable. I love the small vases. And I love the segmenting part. That is just beautiful. Now, I could have made it straight out of a log of the red cedar wood if I wanted to. All of it red cedar. But I wanted to segment it because it adds more character to it. And I don't know, there's something about segmenting that makes it more beautiful to me. Anyway, some people know. Well, it depends on what kind of wood you have and everything also. Because some of the wood, like the log that I turned on the first jug of the cedar wood, the tan colored cedar wood, I mean, it turned out beautiful. In fact, I'm going to bring them over here, okay? Let's compare them to. I'll be right back. Can you believe I said compare them to? I can't even talk right. I ain't right sometimes. But look at that. Isn't that cute? I love it. But this is beautiful. That's out of a 20-pound log of cedar wood. I love the character of it. And even with the cracks, it's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. That's heavy. That's the heaviest one out of all of them. Then we did the segmented. Well, I don't know. That one's heavy too. That one's very heavy. This is bigger. It turned out to be beautiful. And then we have the tiny baby. We have mommy and daddy and baby. How about that? I wasn't thinking about that until just now. That's funny. So we have the baby. The baby was born today. Well, actually, it was born yesterday. I finished it yesterday, wood turning it, and I've completely finished it with Gorilla Clear glue, sanding it up and putting the sanding sealer on and making sure it's smooth, and then put the Gorilla Clear glue on. So I finished it up completely today. Regardless, it's done. Turned out beautiful. I signed my name at the bottom. Let me see if I can touch my screen. I think I have it. There's my name. I don't have the best writing when it's on wood. It's kind of an awkward thing to try to sign. But I love that red cedar. That's some beautiful wood. It's not red now. I'm going to have to put another cutting on here. There's a dry spot right over here in this area. The rest of it's pretty shiny, but there's that one area that's dry. So, yeah, I'm going to have to put and it's slightly, ever so slightly tacky, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video together so I can put it on out and get another project going, stuff like that. Because some of this takes time to do. It really does, especially putting it together. It takes a lot of time. The vase turned out very beautiful. I love it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. It's amazing what you can do with segmented wood turning. Wood turning, you can also get other kinds of, I don't know what it's called. It's open wood turning, where you have spaces between them. And you can make colors like fade in and out. You can put certain colors in certain places, and it tells you where to put those colors so that you can make them go up a certain way, and fade into, yellows and oranges and reds or something like that with the wood, whatever kind of wood you're using. So anyway, the segmenting part's beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. I do not regret getting that sled and the wedgies that I used. And now this was the 32 piece per ring. The other one that I have is 48. You can even get some that are higher, but I thought those are way too high for me. I don't think I want them that high. So, to take 32 pieces per ring, if I were to translate that into this vase, it would make it more stunning. This is 16 per ring. 16. And if I had 32 per ring, it would be awesome. And so I may just do that sometime. Anyway, I hope y'all are smiling. keep it turning and burning, and keep smiling. And I hope to see y'all soon. And I am so excited that I'm going to be able to read your comments. Woohoo! That's right. You bet. I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my channel all this time. Thank you very much. I am honored. It's a privilege and honor to have you come here. I will never take you for granted, and I just want to say thank you. All right, and we will see you next time, right? All right, bye-bye.